So some of those samples there that you're hearing in that opening thing, I've been going through an old hard drive I found that has about 530-second to 1 minute clips from B movies of dialogue that I am now going to work, and I'm going to try to. I figure since we do this on volume, right, and we're not on YouTube, we could cut to a little clip of something stupid if we wanted. Like
Yes,
we
you
used to do
could.
with Kevin. So
Yes, you could. Wait, why do you have that?
why? Because I found this website back 20 years ago that had all these WAV files from all these movies, so I just started downloading them. Because I wanted to be a DJ at that point. I figured I could, throw that shit in with a mix, some weird thing. That's why I have them all. That's why
That's
they
so
popped up
funny
there.
though. Because of my, being an editor and working at like places, like so many of my, we'd always trade sound effects. Like so many of us like have, different sound effects libraries.
I got a great
like,
rocks falling down a cliff, man. You got to hear this.
So every editor like has a drive of sound effects that we would like. It's like tape trading almost. Like we would just trade drives and be like, here, copy this and copy these and blah blah blah, and you trade them. And then other bosses of mine would have the funniest like clipped out bits that they've collected over time from spots they've edited and things like that. So it would be like a reel of bites, like funny bites or funny moments from like movies and things like that. And it was just so creative, like all the things. I don't find that, like, obviously not working as much in an office anymore and more freelancing, you don't have that connection with people like you used to, where you could just go into another bay and be like, hey, do you have like the, it's that whole thing. But it's so funny that's like randomly you have that, but you were trying to be a DJ, so it makes sense that what you were using it for. But that's really funny.
I also have a whole CD of Sony Beats library from like 2000. So you can imagine what all these beats sound like from back in 2000.
No, totally. And all that shit is so funny when you like find them or like go through them, especially dated now, like it would be like
some of that Sony stuff's gonna pop up because some of it's just so bad that we could throw something over top of it, and it would.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. And like, yeah, these days it used to be, there used to be this I can't remember his name now. Oh, Robert Oteil. Yeah. And he was like a sound effects guy, and he had this library of like, I mean, it was hundreds of CDs that were all full of like drones and beats and all this stuff. And he somehow, even back then, had the algorithm fixed, or he would just hear it in a spot and know it was his, which blew me away. Like he would hear a whoosh and be like, that's my whoosh. Like they're using my whoosh without permit. You know what I mean? So like you always had to like.
Oh, he was running after people.
Right. You always, it's like music licensing. You always had to license the effects as well as that, which just always cracked me up.
I've often wondered that, T. Like, is somebody going to come back and be like, that's my fascinating, absolutely fascinating.
Exactly. No, exactly like that. And yeah, he would, if we didn't, I did a lot of my work was for, like, I worked at FX. And then when I left FX, I did a lot of work for FX at my next job. So it was always very important to like make sure the music, the sheets were filled out properly with like the right titles, and same thing back in the day, especially with the effects things as well. And it was such a pain. And then that just sort of slowly faded away. And now everything's just on the internet, and like you just steal effects off YouTube and crap like that. So nobody like licenses it anymore. But
what happens? Let's talk about this absolutely fascinating clip, because I got it from a Raw Fusion album, which was Money B and DJ Fuse from Digital Underground's solo project. We're talking like deep. No one ever hears this thing, but that's how the album opens up. Welcome to the Stylytron. And that's
there was a time back then when a lot of rap had bites like Cronkite or like bites from things in it that would like start the album or be in the middle of something or end it, or you know what I mean, and have that
the little interlude between songs. You have a little weird news broadcast thing or something.
Yep. That's so funny though. Like I just figured, you got it off of some news station or some news thing or something that like,
it's a Raw Fusion album
like back in the day that had that. That's so funny.
All right, let's get into this. Look at this. I have to press play. I have to go into another screen and press play, but I don't think we can hear it. But just look at the sheer enormity of this. And this is post Malone. opened a club in Nashville. Now, Post Malone, is he country? What is he doing? But Kid Rock has a club there, which I hate. They kicked me out because I had a book bag.
Yeah.
You're not allowed. I was waiting to go to the airport and just wanted to go into Kids Rock Club, take a dump, because what else are you going to do at Kids Rock Club? Kid Rock's Club.
Kid Rock's Club.
But apparently he hosted a free pop-up concert outdoors on Broadway, and they had to close the street down. 30,000 people. He did a lot of covers, some Hank Williams, Brad Paisley, Vince Gill, who's now with the Eagles. And then Dierks Bentley came out for What Was I Thinking, Lainey Wilson for Nosedive, and Brooks and Dunn for Neon Moon and Brand New Man. First thoughts. What are your thoughts?
So is that, if you look at the video, so is there a stage set up there in the middle of the street and they like performed there? Is that what is, because then there's video screens too that I see pop on and off. So it looks to me like they did like a concert or something.
There it is.
Okay, so there's the actual grand opening area. Is him going country like a new thing? Because I feel like, wasn't he more pop than country?
Didn't he come out with Billy Strings a couple years ago?
Yeah, and he definitely. I mean, the video station I leave it on all day when I leave, and I leave music on for her, plays a couple of songs, and he's teamed up with like Morgan Wallen and somebody else.
All these people you don't want to be associated with. Brooks and Dunn.
Right.
Crap. That's absolute garbage fucking music and garbage people, the two of them.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yep. But yeah, he I guess he's kind of, I mean, it's like pop country, right? Like it's, I don't know.
Yes. But wasn't he more rap in the beginning?
Yeah, I thought so. Like, that was because he was like a YouTube person, right? Or like something like that, who got a record deal or whatever and kind of became whatever. So but yeah, opening a bar in Nashville is a smart move. Like apparently, for at least a couple years. Like I feel like those things are big at first and then kind of fade after a while. But if you can, keep the shtick up with it, it's cool. It looked like it was fun opening night for sure. That's really cool.
Yeah. All right, you want to get into something disgusting?
Oh man, I guess.
All right.
Bloody disgusting.
There is a Jerry Garcia inspired dice game with his artwork. I mean, what will they not do in order to make money? I feel like Deborah Koontz, she dated Garcia, didn't see him for a long time, then married him at the end and kind of was like, I'm cashing in. Yeah.
So the details of the game are players push their luck rolling dice as they take trips around a labyrinth of Jerry's art, picking up bummer tokens based on their score. When all tokens have been claimed, players journey home and win by being the first to leave all their bummers behind. Solo players and journey jams for up to 8 players can riff off basic rule set, guaranteeing each play experience is completely unique. Compact and portable, Jerry Garcia's Cosmic Journey is infused with all the fun.
Compact and portable. You can play it on the lot.
Infused with all the fun, magic, and memories that have long defined Garcia's iconic art and music. Like,
you
why?
Know what I feel like the first thing that there's the statement from Trixie. So I guess it was Trixie. People don't like Trixie. I've always wanted to interview her. And I said that people don't like Brad, and Brad eventually came on and said, Trixie, come on and talk to us. We would love to just hear about you and your dad. Anyway.
So, I mean, when you listen to her, it's like she says, it's been a true grassroots effort, and we've enjoyed seeing it grow into something that will bring people together. It's through games that we learn valuable strategies, all while bonding with those closest to us. May any challenge we encounter be no match for our wit and wisdom. My dad's legacy lives on through moments of joy, laughter, and connection. Like music, games foster community, and Jerry Garcia's Cosmic Journey is a whimsical way for fans to keep that spirit alive wherever the road may lead. Let's get together and play.
Right. But here's the thing. This is the sentence right here, right? That before even before the music, I mean, the music was always licensed because that's what you have to do in the music industry, but not
Right.
like it is now. And, you know, now you can get a Garcia song for a commercial if you really wanted to pay the money for it. But the artwork, as soon as he started doing the artwork, it was being sold as artwork, of course, which you're going to do because that's the creation, the artifact in and of itself. But how long after the paintings did the ties appear?
Well, that's what I was going to say is yes, exactly. I mean, the ties were fun, and especially back then, it wasn't it again. It was kind of like right at the moment of selling out when selling out became acceptable, right? So the ties weren't that, it was sort of like that way also of sticking your middle finger to corporate America and being like, okay, you're going to make me wear a tie. I'm going to wear my Jerry Garcia. Like,
right.
It's not outlandish, like too outlandish, some of them, you know, but it's still, you know, here you go. So to that, yeah, but it's just, I don't know, like I get it. The game does sound cool and interesting, but calling it that just is such a turn off. Like,
and the bummers thing, come on, I mean,
know, like when you have to lead into that shit, it just like annoys everybody in the scene with that stuff because you're like, man, like it's a bummer you're using bummer. Like what? Like, come on, I don't know.
You know what immediately popped into my head when I saw that? There's a Hunter album called Am a Gambling Street that Jorma was on the second side, the second LP of it. Was a 2 LP thing, but the song Am a Gambling Street has a line in it that says, "A one good pal is worth a crowd of folks. Cry at your bummers and laugh at your jokes." That's what I immediately thought of was this Hunter lyric, which good for them. That's how deep the Jerry Garcia thing goes that even me, I'm like, make this. But people are like, oh, that's cool. And you know what's coming up? Christmas. What do I get for my uncle who likes the Grateful Dead? How many people are going to be getting the Cosmic Dice?
Totally. Oh, it's definitely that gift. I mean, if it's appropriately priced, yes. If it's like ridiculously stupid, expensive type thing, you're like, no, yeah. But yeah, if it's reasonably priced, totally. Because what do you get for the deadhead in your life?
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
I don't know, man. I mean, that's kind of a whole other level of everything we've talked about with them.
It makes my skin crawl a little. It makes my skin crawl. But on the other side, I can remember when I was 14 and trying to just find a copy of Wake of the Flood or Mars Hotel, and it didn't exist because it had been out of print for years. And how much, if I was that age now, I'd be like, wow, there's this wealth. I mean, I can find out anything I need. It would have.
I think it's just, again, like the name just turns me off so much. Like Jerry Garcia's, like you're like, why do you have to put that in it? Especially, and then it's like you go, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'll save complete judgment until I get to see it and maybe play it, but just off the top, I agree with you. It's sort of just a weird taste. Like it's, I mean, we allow a lot when it comes to them and selling out and things, and like I defend a lot of like their stuff because
I mean, the Dick's Picks thing is kind of crazy that they do that and sell the limited edition and how much it costs, and they sell it out every time. And I have no problem, I guess, with that. But this seems like it's taking the legacy and maybe tarnishing it a little. I don't know.
A little bit.
What the hell do I know? People are saying Rush is tarnishing their legacy by going out with Annika on drums, and they're like, screw you, we're adding 11 dates. Only the cities they were playing, so they've only added dates to those cities. The fascinating thing to me is that it's every other night. That Alex, I don't think, can play every night anymore. He's had health issues too.
Every other night's still impressive, you know, because even that, like, I totally get wanting a day off. Like, yes, definitely. Like, you need that. I hear you. I think fans
sign me up, man. Sign me up for the day off.
So I don't know. I think it's great though. LA, New York, Texas, Fort Worth, and then Toronto, and then I think they added a show in Cleveland. Yep. But awesome.
Is that weird? Well, that's where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is.
So, well, yes, it is weird. Yes, it is weird because even with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you're like, why? But
Right. What's up with Oteil?
What is up with Oteil? His playing?
Well, you sent me a link to something Oteil did, and I know that he had Benji Hughes come out with him, a Charlotte guy, as a guest for 2 songs. But I mean, he's been doing some fantastic choices in the set list, like Hillbillies on PCP from that Kimmock Ray White band, KBHW, I guess it was called. And
the other night he they put the full show up on YouTube, or the full video up on YouTube, so you can check it out. But on 10/3, which was now is a little while ago, last week. But he did a Know You Rider Tweezer mashup, which was really kind of cool. Like, it was basically Tweezer with I Know You Rider lyrics over it, but it worked. Like, it sounded really cool. Like,
have you heard of the Crosby Collective?
No.
Jason Crosby, the keyboard player with Oteil, who they have the Lithium Friend of the Devil mashup. He has something called the Crosby Collective, where he gets a bunch of different people to show up, and they do all mashups for like the whole show. And the Tweezer thing has appeared before with him doing it with that. And there's the Lithium Friend of the Devil. You know, they'll throw some Zeppelin in with things, and really fantastic. Jason Crosby is just the consummate musician. I mean, he plays with Jackson Brown. You know, but he plays violin, right? And he plays the keyboards. He has the vocals. He has the chops. So hold on, I'm going to pull up this Crosby Collective, because some of these mashups were just fantastic.
When it works, it's really cool. I thought that one, it was weird at first, because I was like, wait, is that a Tweezer? But then it was like, and then you'd hear them singing like, I Know You Right. And I was like, wow, okay, that's kind of weird. And then you're like, but it actually kind of works. Like, they kind of go together. It's pretty cool. So, and I mean, Oteil is such a whiz anyway. It was cool to like see that and hear it and watch it. That was fun.
Right. All right. Here's one that had back in May, Dave Schools. They did Tweezer reprise with I Know You Rider. Black Dog, Led Zeppelin's Black Dog, let's see, Casey Jones and Pink Floyd's Eclipse, Riders on the Storm and Billie Jean from Michael Jackson, Blue Sky, Dreams and Melissa in the Dead's Jack Straw, Mr. Blue Sky from ELO in A Day in the Life, What's Going On and Band on the Run together.
Ooh,
I mean, just you know, there's a couple videos of this one with the Dave Schools. I talked about it months ago when I was trying to do that recap festival thing that I tried to do for a little bit there, but it's no fun without you. I need to have you to talk with about it. But just, I mean, God, so good. And Oteil out there making it happen. Have you ever listened back to Oteil back in like 2000, late 90s, the Oteil Burbridge band? Because it's way different. It's almost this jazz instrumental thing.
I was gonna say, it was a lot jazzier, a lot it had that kind of vibe to it. It's funny to see the progression into, especially like getting in with the Dead and stuff, and how that's sort of changed that sound, his overall everything.
Exactly. We got no one. I wish I need to send an email to Mr. Bungle and let him know that this is when this is happening.
Yes, and hit up other people. And I will say, Kev, I'm going to say we have a little bit of breaking news right now, and this will lead us into our next whole thing. But just announced, No Doubt it will reunite and is playing the Sphere in 2026.
Oh my God.
For the 30th anniversary of their 1995 album, Tragic Kingdom.
Like, so Gwen Stefani is big enough name to do that.
So the Sphere engagement will mark No Doubt's first extended run of shows in 14 years. The original band with Gwen, Tony, Tom, and Adrian were all getting together.
So hot.
They're going to play May 6th, May 8th, May 9th, May 13th, May 15th, and May 16th.
So
Tickets go on sale October 15th at 10 a.m. Pacific, to the fan clubs, and then the general public goes on sale Friday, October 17th.
All right.
Breaking news just announced at like 8:45 this morning. So an hour ago, basically. Not even an hour ago. Look at that. Like, we're breaking shit here, Kev.
We are breaking news. And this is fantastic because this sets up whatever is on the books now before April is probably all that's going to happen, except for Phish happening in April, no doubt in May. And then you know what's going to be June?
It's looking it's
going to be Dead and Company is going to fill that space through the summer, and then it's going to be, let's just jump to the end because I was going to do this one last, but it's going to be Metallica.
Yes. Well, so the Eagles are coming back too. We know
what
that.
Are those dates? Man,
they're scheduled to return, and I haven't seen the dates exactly that, but Metallica is awaiting a formal announcement regarding their potential thing, and the Lady Gaga's involvement still remains uncertain, with the sources describing her as a maybe. So that's still not dead either. So it could be a big year for Sphere. Like, it could be it's shaping up to be a pretty
big year. They
What's
need
that?
to have every year be a big year.
I agree. But I think, Kev, this is what we kind of expected more of. What are we in year 3 here now?
Right.
Or going into year 3 next year? Yeah. And we still talk about Backstreet Boys, Phish, The Dead, the DJ sets, the country. I can't think of the country guy that did it. Nothing huge, nothing big, nothing nothing that pops. But so now you're getting No Doubt, which is fun, different, interesting.
But is that above a level of any of those other things?
No,
I think Metallica is the one that.
Well, that's what I was going to get to. I was getting to that, but like, you have No Doubt in May doing a month residency, which is basically like a month residency, right? But it's still like a fun, get them in there.
Right.
Instead of touring, it's sort of that thing, a destination, right? Like, come see us here, like you had talked about too, about bands doing destination things. So it sort of lives in that. And then the big announcement is, yes, if you could get a big band like Metallica to come in there and play a month or 2 months, because again, those shows, whatever they announce, those shows will get added onto, right? Like, there's a guarantee
definitely
that whatever they put down.
That's the MO now. That's what they do. They see how many sell out. If it sells out quick, because it's going to be an expensive ticket.
I had just read this thing about people saying that, like, the Sphere hadn't been booked from May through September or something of next year. And they're like, what's coming? And then people were like, oh, well, I heard rumors of No Doubt actually was in the rumor mill. But so now this makes sense because those dates are still open after that. So if No Doubt needs to add a couple more weeks after their 2-week run there, they still can. And then that pushes into, like, mid-June into July. And then whenever Metallica comes in, which I'm looking more of, like you said, like Dead and Co for the summer. Yeah. And then Metallica after that. So
because Dead and Co will do a 12-show thing announcement again and then go up to 18. They'll add another 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks, if we look back over this, I bet we see that it's 2, maybe 3 weeks are added, but it's normally 2 weeks. And sometimes there's 2 2-week things. It's staggered.
Yep.
But we're going to throw out, all right, we're throwing out 4 more shows because I guess the Eagles probably only played Friday and Saturday, not Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
But I think that's a great point you just made, where I wonder if in the contracts it's a 2-week run minimum, right? Like, you sign up for these 2 weeks over a 2-week span. It's not 2 weeks of shows, but it's like No Doubt, like the 6th, the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, every other day, whatever, for 2 weeks. Then you can add on to that. We keep vacancies open. You get first right to add on or whatever before
you have first right to the 2 weeks after that. If not, we're gonna get it.
Then we'll try and book somebody else in there. So and with bigger shows I think they have the schedule set up now sort of in that way. So it'll be interesting. But I mean, good for them. We're still waiting on the Phish announcement for April, but now May is booked with No Doubt, and then Metallica's coming, and we'll see what else gets in there. But I don't know. 2026 could shape up to finally be Sphere getting to the Sphere level that we expected Sphere to be at. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So we got something big coming up, man. We've been doing a lot of promotion on this. It's the first. I'm going to be solo doing this, which I don't like. I wish that you were there with me, or Tim or anybody.
I know,
but
I do too.
We're doing a show. We're going to have Mike Ayers, who's a great buddy. 22nd, he'll be coming on again for Liv to do a little prep for this, talk Halloween stuff. I know there's a whole Halloween chapter that didn't make the book. So there's probably lots of good stories. And if you remember when we first talked to him, what was the impetus? Going to 95 Rosemont is how his whole thing started with the cooking.
That's right.
And,
That's right. That's right. So there's a whole
Halloween baby. He's a Halloween baby.
There's a whole Halloween thread here.
You know, but the other day, you know, we were running a pretty, you know, vanilla thumbnail ad kind of thing for the thing with a picture of him. And then they announced from the Crypt, and they're like, Billy Strings is Wolfman, and one of them's Frankenstein and all that. So I was like, this is fantastic. We can definitely work with this. But the theme is Meet Me at the Crypt, and it's centered on classic Universal monsters. I don't get why we have Bride of Frankenstein and not the creature from the Black Lagoon, which I think would have fit, you know, but maybe they're trying to have a woman in there and, you know, pull that out. But so it's the whole band, Billy's band, but they have all of Leftover Salmon with them.
Wow.
A special guest, Corey Henry.
Wow.
The Charm City Coven, which is great. Which is cellist Adelaide Stein, violist Cecily. Take two. Violist Celia Hatton and violinist Adrian Malello. Part of the problem is the dyslexia. Part of it is I read 3 words ahead of what I'm speaking. I'm trying to figure this out there. Anyway, so he's done Wizard of Oz, Lord of the Rings, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, pro wrestling in the past. But I'm like, should I dress up? Should I go both nights? Should I say I'm going to spend $200 and try to buy tickets for both nights? Because I was going to go the second night since I was downtown already doing the thing with Mike. Actually, I was hoping Mike be like, come on, we got a box.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But it's so fantastic. But let me ask you that I talked to Elisa the other night, Alishon from Sirius. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's so comfortable talking to her. She's a professional. You know, we even got into some maybe politically shady things with why aren't there more all-female bands, since half the people in the world are women. But we also got into the thing about, we listened to 1031-91 the other night for What Club the last time, right? And the Grateful Dead, it was an interesting show. It was special, but there wasn't a musical costume. That wasn't until Phish. And I feel like now we expect that from our jam bands. Widespread doesn't do it. Widespread goes out, they might bust out some covers. They have kind of a theme maybe, but it isn't the full-on Mo and the String Dusters doing Jam a Lot, you know, kind of thing.
I think I'm interested to see what Billy does this year with this concept, you know, because it's not like last year where he just basically did like a Phish thing and covered, you know.
Oh, brother, where art thou? Right?
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see, because unless it's something like Throwing Chilling, where you just take sort of the sounds or the spookiness and turn them into something, or if it's just costumed, you know, it'll be interesting to see what he does with this, with everything and everybody. But I think you're right. Like, we did get spoiled with those wonderful, amazing Phish years of them doing the covers, not breaking free and doing like Casvod and sci-fi and those things. That's a different beast altogether. There you go. There's ours. Looks good.
I had to put the chick in it. It
looks good.
That's from the Revenge of Dracula, or some later version of Dracula. That is an actual movie poster.
But yeah, I think that like we did get spoiled with that, and I think it's such a great concept to do that. You know, like Halloween, like it just lends itself to covering another band's album. Like, it makes so much sense. It's a brilliant thing, I think. But expecting it, yeah, that's tough. Like that, it lays that. It's almost like
okay. So
Kevin, it's almost like the no repeats that we say. It's almost like, are they going to repeat a song that, you know what I mean? Like, it just gets thrown into these things where you're like, just because it happens doesn't mean it's going to always happen.
Right. You have the strings. So I'm thinking like the theme from Frankenstein, from those movies. None of them are like, I think, well known that I could hum it in my head.
Right.
to think about it, but
Right.
they could like maybe open with that, the theme from Dracula or something like that.
Right.
But
Right.
are we doing covers? Are we going to break out like Sam Sham's Haunted House? Are we going to do Monster Mash, that kind of thing?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if you, Monster Mash should be hilarious.
That would be fantastic. And I guess they're going to be dressed up. They always dress up. He dressed up like the Hulkster one year for the wrestling one.
So. Kev, going back to your conversation with Elisa about all-girl bands, I just came across an all-girl Radiohead cover band, and they're called Labia Head. Yes! And they kind of rip. They're kind of good.
We need to get them on.
We do. They're very, it's great. So yeah, there you go. There's female, and as we know, females do own the bass position, I feel like, in bands and things. Right. So I think that is where we do see a ton of female musicians these days. They may not be lead singers or leading a band, but boy, there's a lot of guitar players and bass players out there these days, which is awesome.
What about a 50-50 band? Maybe being all female is too gimmicky or something in the world of the pundits of the music industry. But what about like a Heart? I mean, they were sisters, but it was two women and two men.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think wherever you can have one,
like Scotty Zwang's old band, who's with Humphreys now, and had Raina Mullins, Holly Bowling, Tom Hamilton. Wasn't it Tom, or was it Metzger? It was Tom Hamilton. Yeah. Simply fantastic stuff there. All right. That was where we were. I think that was bum. I think we covered it. Oh, wait, where was Jorma? Let's talk a little bit about Jorma.
Oh, yeah.
Jorma's going to be 85.
85.
So, and he's going to go on tour. One last time, like 2 years ago or last year was the last Electric Hot Tuna. I don't think his ears could take it. The standing up playing, because there's always the thing with you have to stand up playing electric music, but you could sit down playing acoustic music. So, but November 1st in Washington, D.C., which is his hometown, if you didn't know. He was a D.C. guy who flew to San Francisco, hooked up with Jack Cassidy. They met Marty Balin. Marty Balin was getting all the trim all over town. They were like, let's form a band. And there you go.
Let's form a band. Let's do this.
Right. It'll have a rotating artist, Susan and Derek, Steve Earle, Larry Campbell, Teresa Williams, G. Smith, Bruce Cockburn, David Odako. I mean,
man, yeah.
Everybody wants to play with Jorma. It might be the last time.
Yeah. Yep. Of course.
I could see him retiring after that and only doing, what's this thing called? The Fur Piece Ranch that he has. That music things at.
But so, I mean, 85, that's like, I mean, all these guys, we talk about Bobby all the time, but like all these guys getting up there, man, and like it's,
like 4 cities, only 4 cities: DC, New York, San Fran, and Denver. The Jam Band Mecca, the original,
Jamtopia.
Right? And then we have.
Hey, Mike GM96 says there's a Fleetwood Mac cover band called Little Lies that I think is all female.
Nice. That's what we need. We need that energy.
that is what we need. Although, who plays the Lindsey Buckingham part? Can they play guitar as well as that? I mean, one of the best guitar players in the world ever.
Really?
That guy's phenomenal. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That guy's amazing. I think.
I always thought he was very pop. He had a pop block.
I feel like he's like. He like takes the Paul McCartney look to the next level of like. Whereas Paul is decent, I feel like Lindsey is like the bar of like, like finger pick, like playing without a pick, and like just
Paul behind the piano.
Probably like right there with Niles Lofgren, because Niles plays the same style as Lindsey, and those two remind me so much of each other. I feel like those two are like kind of on the same wave.
That's fair. I can see that.
Yeah.
I think that's all we got. We're short today, guys, because we've been working hard, man. We got so much stuff. Tomorrow we got Tommy Dorfman
Yes.
Coming up.
Yes. Great interview. Big interview.
Great interview.
Fuck Ticketmaster.
Yeah, he's fighting Ticketmaster. You know, I asked Amanda to come on next week.
Oh, good.
Live.
Nice.
So, what do we got Tuesday? Tuesday we got
What Club?
Halloween
we got a Halloween-ish Phish show, which so I've already started listening to it. It's the, what is it, 10-1? 10,
yeah.
10, no, 10,
no
10
11-2. 11-2.
Sorry, 10. Yes, 11-2, November. 11-2, 98, Salt Lake City, the infamous Dark Side show that came 2 nights after the legendary Loaded show in Vegas.
The legendary freak out in the third spot.
Yes. So it's a real treat of a show, though. Like, I mean, when you listen to it, which you all should, because minus the Dark Side stuff, the opening of this show is fantastic, and you have no inkling whatsoever of what's to come. It just feels like a rockin' Phish show where you feel like, okay, well, where they dropped out 2 nights ago, they just came in here.
It's next level anyway. Even if I knew nothing else was going on, it's next level because they see the place is half empty.
And they open with a tube, which is
one of the best
in itself, an interesting opener. And this tube, I had forgotten about this because, again, you listen to the Dark Side. You don't necessarily go straight in and listen to the first couple songs to get to the dark. You're like, I just want to get to the meat of the second set and listen to this. This tube has one of the greatest tube jams ever, and it comes after the song. They finish the song and then just decide, let's keep jamming and jam out the incredible tube jam. It's insane. It's remarkable. And then the first 3 songs basically are 40 minutes long, I think, is what it turns out to be almost. And that's just the start of the show.
Side of a tape. You could throw Driver on after it and make a good side of a tape. I think that's where the cut was. The second set, the second tape, you had to put the first 4 songs, and then the second song had to be on a 55-minute side. So you had to have a 110-minute tape. But let me ask you this. We often talk about the largest crowd reaction that you heard, either live or on a tape. I always go with Unbroken Chain, Fluff-Headed Hampton, but this one has 2. When they first start playing it out of Harpua, everyone freaks out, and then when they go into Time and everyone realizes they're going to do the whole album.
When they drop into it out of that Harpua and he tells the story about basically his autobiography of him freaking out and having to get out of Vegas, to then drop into that, it's such a moment. Like it's such. I'll never forget listening to that for the first time and being like, "Oh,
waiting for that tape," because it was all over the internet within an hour.
Yeah,
after they did it, but you didn't get the tape for a good 3 weeks. I think it took me 3 weeks, and that was me calling in, dude. Come on, put me on.
And
the
I
list,
told you,
man.
one of my buddies at that time had learned to burn tape to CD, so he made us all CDs and put like a little fake Dark Side thing in it, and it gave it all to us. And I listened to that thing. I mean, every time I got in my car, again, I had the 10-disc changer, so I've just put it was. And again, you skip Tube, Drowned, and Jesus Left Chicago to open the show, which again, a 14-minute Tube, almost a 16-minute Drowned.
Solid, MoMA in the third spot in the second set. I mean, and that's the thing. You know what I did? I'm re-listening to it. I got through MoMA. Yem started. I skipped it.
Dude, it's a 24-minute Yem.
I'm looking at it because I can't believe because I didn't want to. But in the moment, I was like, I know what's next.
Right. Oh, it's funny too, isn't that? For like getting the sample Down with Disease, I think that's such a. These songs go so it's such a 98 thing, like such a Phish early Phish thing to play those 2 back to back like that. And like, I don't know, just this whole set list, I mean, 15-minute Limb by Limb after, like you said, after you get the Driver and the Bittersweet Motel, all of a sudden you get a 15-minute Limb by Limb. I mean, this show is just
that's Limb by Limbs. I mean, that Limb by Limb is the thing with Limb by Limb is you either get an 8-minute one
Right.
Or you get one that pushes 15, 16 minutes, and this is the latter version, and they're few and far between.
And to go from the Yem into the Harpua story is just so intense. Like, I mean, that is an intense
What else
thing.
do you do with a vocal jam?
And then to break into Speak to Me, Breathe in the Air, and then boom, On the Run, Time, great gig in the sky, money. I mean, you're just like, it's insane. It's insane.
Right, you got the, and you know what the beautiful thing is? It had the built-in Fishman tune they'd already did with Great Gig.
Yep. And then what's great is you get Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yep.
At the very end. Just
exactly.
A great.
And you know what? If that wasn't enough, if you weren't ready to become an all access member and throw it in, everybody who's an all access member watching this now, everyone in the comments over there, gets to do this live. I know you're like, what is he gonna say? What is he gonna say?
And come on if you want, and listen to the
right.
breakdowns of the, we'll actually play right. Trey talking and some of the stuff so you can hear it and as we talk about it. So yeah.
We're going to close out Halloween month with where I was going with. We're going to close out Halloween month with the Grateful Dead at Radio City on 10/31/81. Dead Ahead, the movie, you can watch it and see 70% of the concert in fantastic version. You can listen to the whole thing anywhere. But we're going to have Julie DeLong on, who is a Grateful Dead scholar. She's all over the she's all over that scene, doing the scholarly work, doing book clubs and things like actual book clubs where they read books and then talk about the books. Since we can't read, me and T don't read. We only just watch videos.
That's right. I don't have time to read. I do love reading, and I have a stack of books over here to read that I keep. Oh, this will be great to read. Unless I take long flights, but I don't fly that much anymore, so I don't read as much. Right? It's just all on my phone.
My brain hurts. Right, my brain hurts after 2 pages just trying to get through it.
And you're used to staring at a screen.
That's why I like poetry.
Right.
My poems are 1 page.
Easy to get through.
There you go. All right, and with that, we're going to get out of here. We love you guys. Thank you for
do epic shit today.
Supporting
Go
us.
Do some epic shit.
Yep, that's what we're
Take care of yourself, guys. Have a great weekend.
Right. Yeah, Tommy Dorfman comes out Monday. We'll be back doing this again, same time. 9
Go watch
Pacific.
the Tommy interview tomorrow when it drops, and get mad at Ticketmaster. It should fire you up. It's a crazy story.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
What's up, dog?
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.